And I open up the phone and I just start reading the text and I just start bawling. I start ugly cry bawling, like ugly cry to the point where I'm like snot dripping out of my nose, ugly crying. And Michael's like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? Thinking maybe something with my back or something. And I was like, she likes the book. Like, she thinks the book is good. And so she sends me this text. And she says, I'm loving your book. I get mad when I have to put it down to do something. And I'm like, really? She's like, yes, it's so well written, like as if I were having a conversation and I'm listening to you. Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Krissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to 6 figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. Welcome back to the Badass is the New Black podcast. I'm your host, Krissy Chin. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see this big smile on my face. Like, I'm seriously about to start laughing at myself because I think this is the 5th take that I've taken of just the intro. I am so nervous and scared to talk today, which is just so crazy that I didn't expect this. But today is really kind of the first podcast episode where I'm really talking about the book. About my book called Sell While You Sleep, Turn Your Knowledge into an Automated Online Business and Create a Life of Freedom. And I've been procrastinating recording this episode because in my mind, I've been thinking, okay, I have to have this strategic plan for the launch, and I'm setting up all this launch stuff, and I'm creating a launch team, and I've got a virtual book party that's happening when the book goes live on January 18th. You've heard me mention the book and the release date in the other podcast, but today is an episode really focused on the book. And I didn't realize how much fear I had around it. I think it was subconscious fear until yesterday when I got strep throat. And I was like, well, the night before from 6 p.m. to 9, this like crazy fast sore throat came on. And I was like, oh my gosh, it feels like I'm swallowing daggers. And I was like, I think I have strep throat. So I made an appointment to go to the Minute Clinic in the morning just to see, because if it's strep, I always like to see and really get on top of it. And it was, and I text my friend Sierra, whose book is actually coming out on the 11th. I think that's tomorrow when this airs, which is super exciting. But I messaged her and I was like, oh my gosh, I have strep throat. Like, how awful. And she goes, it's not surprising that you're having throat issues right now. You're literally about to release a book that you wrote. That's your voice. Didn't have a ghostwriter. That is your voice, your thoughts coming from your throat, right? That's our voice comes from our throat. She goes, your book is coming out in 2 weeks. I'm not surprised. And I was like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? What does this mean? Does this mean that I'm scared? And I think that there probably was some subconscious thoughts of this fear that I have had about writing a book. Is it going to be good? Are people going to like it? Are people going to find value out of it? I want this book to not only really help thousands of people, maybe 1 million, who knows how far it will go, to really help you create your dream life. Do something that you love to do, turn it into a business so that you can bring financials into your family, participating in that avenue while doing something that you love, while having more time with your family and with your kids, or maybe your fur kids if you don't have human kids, whatever it is that you want to be doing, traveling, buying a second home, learning how to ski, horseback riding, whatever's super expensive that you're like, I don't have the means to do it right now and I want to do it, or I don't have the time. I want you to be able to do that. And that was one of the big reasons why I wrote the book. One of the other big reasons why I wrote the book is because it's time in my career. I've been doing this for years now, and becoming an author is something that, positions you in a different way. If I want to try and get more speaking gigs on stage outside of like my close network that knows me, my best friend, that's like, hey, come speak on my stage, right? Which actually the 2 stages I've talked on were not my best friends. But if I want to do more of that, being an author, saying you have a book is powerful. Or trying to get on big podcasts, or trying to get featured in Forbes magazine or Entrepreneur magazine, saying you're an author, you have a book, a #1 best-selling book rather, is really powerful and can help you stand out amongst a lot of other people. And so that's another reason why I wanted to write a book, as opposed to just create another course or open another program. Right? To take everything I've learned, what I know, the steps to really taking your knowledge, your skills, your expertise, your passions, and turning them into an online business, automating it so that you can have more freedom to create this life of freedom that you really want. And so if I am writing this book, and part of the reason is to position myself as a professional, as a thought leader, as someone who has something to share with the world, then the book has to be good. It has to be professional. And so I think I have had this subconscious fear that I didn't really realize until this morning as I was getting ready, or yesterday into this morning, was that I think I have this fear of like, what if it's not professional enough? What if the book, all that I want it to do is position me as a professional, as a thought leader, as someone who has something to say and to teach and cares for other people and wants people to succeed? What if it doesn't translate? What if that doesn't happen? What if someone from Forbes magazine or Entrepreneur magazine picks it up and reads it and is like, this feels amateur, right? Like, she can't participate in an article for our magazine or whatever. And these are just fears that I have. Maybe they're fears that you've had. Maybe you haven't written a book, but maybe it's about something else. Launching a workshop, charging for your coaching, right? Could be anything. We're humans. We fear things because we need to survive. And so our body naturally fears things that may affect our livelihood, our reputation, how we are seen in the world. And the truth is that I have done all of the extra things to make sure that the book is good. While I wrote the book, I didn't get a ghostwriter to write it. I had support along the way. I had a developmental editor who knows books read it and tell me where to add something or add more detail to a story to keep the reader's attention. I've had copy editors looking at sentence structure, modifying sentence structure to make it better, easier to read, more understandable. I've had 2 proofreads at this point in time, and then the formatting happened. So the book is in PDF. It's literally, I think the author copies are getting ordered tomorrow. So it's been formatted. I've, had Claire, who's been by my side with the design layout, bringing in her expertise, creating the images for inside the book, professional people helping me with the book so that the book can be as professional as possible. So I know I have this deep fear inside that like, oh my gosh, what if it's not good enough? But I have done everything that I possibly can do to make sure that it is, outside of having someone write it for me, which then just wouldn't really be a true book from me, doing everything that I possibly can to make it professional, to make sure that you as the reader, you can follow it. It's easy. It's simple. You can take actionable steps. And so we have 2 other proofreads that are happening today to correct changes. I've even proofread it again after the formatting to make little tweaks and changes. And then the author copies will be ordered tomorrow. And I'll have a book in my hand next week. And I have no idea how I'm going to feel about it. I have no idea if I'm going to cry when I open the box. I have no idea if I'm going to be speechless when I open the box. I have no idea if I'm going to laugh and have the biggest smile on my face. You better believe I'll be recording it. So whatever emotion I have, I'll have. So a few months back, I have the book close enough, ready for a beta reader to read it. And so I reach out to my friend who's a very experienced reader. She reads books all the time. She's trying to read a book a week and actually like holds the book and reads it, doesn't just listen to audiobooks. And she's also in the entrepreneurial space. She's done direct sales before. She wants to write and publish children's books. And so I was like, you know what? She'll be the perfect person to read it, to give me some feedback, to see if it resonates, and just give me some feedback. And I didn't really know what to expect. And she sends me a text after she starts reading it, not too long after I gave it to her. And I'm sitting on the couch. My feet are curled up under me. I'm all snuggly on the couch. It's dinner time. Michael's home. He's cooking in the kitchen. And I open up the phone and I just start reading the text. And I just start bawling. I start ugly cry bawling, like ugly cry to the point where I'm like snot dripping out of my nose, ugly crying. And Michael's like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? Thinking maybe something with my back or something. And I was like, she likes the book. Like, she thinks the book is good. And so she sends me this text. And she says, I'm loving your book. I get mad when I have to put it down to do something. And I'm like, really? She's like, yes, it's so well written, like as if I were having a conversation and I'm listening to you. I'm halfway through. It's phenomenal. I feel, and then she goes on to talk about like, I feel like I'm a terrible editor because I've literally found one word to change. And then just tells me when, and I just say, are you sure? Like, it doesn't feel confusing. It's not boring. She says, not confusing at all, not boring at all. I get really mad when I have to stop doing something. I'm so proud of you. And I'm just like, are you sure? Because you have to tell me if it sucks so I can change it. I have time to change it. And she goes, I promise. I promise it's great. I love these kinds of self-help motivational books because it's really like you're in the room and I'm listening to you. It might be because I know you, but still it makes it a page turner and fun and enjoyable to read. I'm getting motivated and inspired, which is the goal. And so then I just kind of respond back with, my thoughts on it. And I just said, anyway, I'm just so excited for you writing your children's books and yada, yada. And she goes, honestly, it's really making me think about my life and my journey and what I want to accomplish and what tools do I need to make them happen. And I really think that anyone could get something out of this book, especially the first half, because she'd only read the first half at that time. And just said her husband meets with entrepreneurs. She goes, I'm going to recommend he share this book with all of those entrepreneurs. And so she shares that message with me and I'm just ugly crying and Michael's like, that's so good. And I'm like, I know, like it's so good. And that was another moment where I realized, oh my gosh, I had such fears building up that I didn't realize I had. And what a relief that someone thinks that it's good. Because mind you, at this point in time, I'm getting support with the book, but all of the feedback is mostly critical. And they always like preface with, okay, now remember, like, we're going to be giving constructive feedback, so don't think that the book is bad or that you have to change something or anything like, or not change something, but no, I'm sorry. I'm like teary over here. I don't know why. No, I know why, because this is a big deal. If you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing me just wiping the tears. But I digress back to, so at this point in time, I'm getting feedback from professional people. And so a lot of it is just very straight to the point, expand on this, add this isn't clear, make sure that you change this, do better, right? But all very, very kind ways to say it, but no one from this other perspective of just someone consuming the book as they would out there. And so it was just super powerful to get that feedback from her. And so I wasn't expecting to open up this text and start bawling. So I have no idea what to expect when I open up this box of books and actually can hold my book in my hand. It'll have a big stripe on it that says not for resale. It's the author's copies. But to like hold it in my hand and just feel this achievement. And that's what I want for you. It's the whole point of the book, for you to decide what, and I'm going to walk you through this in the book. What is your dream life? What is it that you want? Because you can have it. If you want it, you can have it. And building a business and doing this, it does take hard work. course, I talk about, I've been working part-time for the most part. There's weeks here and there where I do extra hours, of course, things like writing a book and whatnot. But in the hours that I'm working, I'm putting in really hard work. I care a lot about the lives that I'm affecting. And I know that you care a lot about the lives that you're changing as well with your knowledge, your skills, your expertise, your passions, that you care deeply for people and want better for them. And that you have a dream life. And it's okay to have a dream life and want the best for you and your family as well. And so just the beginning of this book is really about helping you get a picture of what is that dream life? What is it that I want? What is it that I want to be doing? What would be filling up my cup? If I had to wake up every morning and put in the work to generate the financial success that I also want and our family wants, what would I have to be doing to really enjoy it? And there are times in entrepreneurship where there are days where you are wearing a hat of maybe something you don't want to do. Like a lot of my health and wellness, nutrition, they're like, I don't want to be the marketer. I don't want to be the copywriter and the designer. I just want to help people heal and feel better. And I understand that. And in the beginning, if there's not funds to hire that out, then you'll have to learn how to do it yourself. And so this book is really a guide to help you do that, to take the unknown and make it familiar to you and make it easier for you, to give you step-by-step actions to really start from the beginning of really taking a look. And if you've been in business for years, it's still going to be a powerful book because I'm going to make you think. I'm going to make you think more about what do you really want and have you been on that path? And if you haven't, it's okay. And here's what you can do now. I also share it's 3 parts to the book. And I also share in the 3rd part, a lot of really big lessons that I've learned. I in the 2nd part, I talk about more systems, process, hiring, who to hire, when to hire, how to hire. So if you're, in the very beginning stage, you're going to take that information and you're going to table it for a little bit. If you've already been in business for a while, you're going to probably maybe be at that stage where you're like, I'm ready to implement this information. If not, you always come back to it. And then the 3rd part is really about lessons that I've learned, mistakes that I've made that you 100% can avoid in your business to decrease some of the hardship that comes along with entrepreneurship, in the hopes and that you can fast track your success. Where I have learned these lessons over 10 years, you can avoid some of these things or learn quicker and do this in a few years, right? A couple years. Or even really get things off the ground in your first few months and be on your way to your dream life. And I actually give you the secret on how to have your dream life literally today or the day that you read that chapter. So it's just such an exciting time. I dragged my feet on recording this episode because I didn't know what to say. Like I said in the beginning, it was like, I got to have this strategy built out. And I've got 3 episodes to talk about the book before the book actually launches. And we want to have a huge launch day on the 18th. So please mark it in your calendar, January 18th, to purchase the book. You can get on the waitlist, thekrissychin.com/waitlist. I think, or book waitlist. Oh shoot, I can't remember. It'll be in the show notes. It'll be under this YouTube video in the description. But just realizing that, just let go. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to listen to my own motto, done is better than perfect. Really, I just wanted to get on here and I guess just share my heart about the book, about the journey, about what I hope that it does for you and my experience in writing it. And, and just share that. So that's it for today. Next week, I am going to talk about how to do this, how to build an online business that creates a life of freedom and kind of what you need. And we're going to go through the book, kind of chapter by chapter a little bit. We'll keep it short and sweet. But I'm going to give you more of an idea of what you can find inside the book and kind of walk you through this process of, really lines out what do you really need. So that's it for today. I just want to acknowledge you and your journey and your desire and your hard work that you are putting into your business, whether today is the day that you have decided you're starting a business or you're a year in, 4 years in, or 5 years in. I just want to acknowledge you where you are, where you're at, and just let you know that you are going to do really amazing, powerful, incredible things. And I hope that you bring me on your journey with you to help guide you in a way that allows you to just really shine in the things that you're really good at and serve people in a way that you really want to serve them to make a difference in this world. Because I'm not going to do it alone. I can't do it alone. And so my purpose here is to help you succeed so that we can have this ripple effect, so that I can help you, whether you're a health coach, I can help you help 1,000 people get healthy. Or if you are a designer, I can help you help 1,000 people have better design, or whatever it is that you do. I want to help you help more people, because that's really how we do make this world a better place. So that's it. Go to thekrissychin.com/book. The link will also be in the show notes or below this video if you're watching on YouTube. The waitlist is going to notify you on the 18th via your email so that you remember to order the book on publication day. And it's also going to give you your free ticket to the virtual launch party that we are hosting on the 18th, kind of an all-day event, but you can pop in and out. It's in a Facebook group, and we're giving away $5,000 worth of stuff. So of course, if you order your book in the morning, that's going to give you more opportunities to win amazing things. Time with me, time with Claire, templates, like all of these amazing things to help you with your business. We are giving so much away. So please, I hope to see you on the wait list. I hope to see you in the virtual launch party Facebook group so we can celebrate together on the 18th. And then we will be hosting a book club as well. So I'm just going to kind of put that out there, that for those that order the book and are actually going to read it, we're going to do a 6-week book club with the book, and I'll have it all outlined in terms of what sections, and I'll be meeting weekly for live Q&A to talk about that section of the book, to answer your questions and be there for you. So also why it's a really amazing time to grab this book on the 18th and join us for the book club. And I have some other amazing bonuses. There will be a free digital workbook, and I'm going to do a goal setting workshop, because this is something I didn't dive deep into the book, but I really wanted to talk about, and I think it's really important. So I'm going to include that in this book club process in terms of a goal setting workshop to help you set goals and help you understand how you can set them up in a way that you can actually achieve them, and achieve them in a way that is not stressful, not overwhelming, and you know exactly what to be doing each day to reach those goals. So all of those bonuses, value over $400, you'll get them free when you purchase the book on the 18th. So that's it for today. Go out there and take some imperfect action, my friend, and just acknowledge yourself and how amazing you're doing with whatever it is, and know that fear is there, it's present. Let's thank it for its existence and then let it pass quickly. All right, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.